Hi, it's me again. We're back with Unit 5, the text on Will Smith. The title is The Rich and Famous for those who are seeing the video for the first time. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to do the reading, and afterwards I'm going to do the vocabulary analysis of the text so we can go deeper with some new words and structures. And your task is to listen for the gist, so listen for the general idea of the text, and try to think about a possible answer to this question. Why do you think Will Smith has been so successful? Okay, so try to listen to find the answers which prove certain things, which give evidence to Will Smith's achievements. Okay, so let's get started. Will Smith was born Willard Smith in Philadelphia on 25th of September 1968. He grew up in a multicultural, lower middle class neighborhood where his father, a former U.S. Air Force sergeant, ran a successful refrigeration business, and his mother worked for the local school board. The second oldest of 4 children, Will excelled at school, particularly at maths, which remains a passion, and seems to bear few scars from the attentions of a disciplinarian father. I grew up in a military household, he says. We had to roll our underwear up in the drawers along with our socks and put them in neat little lines. Learning that level of discipline and a commitment to doing things right is going to help you to win. In his teens, his mother managed to get him an interview at the world-renowned Massachusetts Institute of Technology, but Will was born to perform. He began performing at parties with his friend Jeff Towns while the pair was still at school. Signed up by Jive Records in 1986 as DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, the pair became an instant international success, enjoying a string of hits. By 20, the lanky, jag-eared rapper was a millionaire. Then he very nearly blew it. What did I know, Smith reflected a few years later. I was running around with all this money and these girls chasing me and just having a great time. But the after-hours shopping trips to Gucci and the trans-continental partying caught up with him. I had 6 cars, but I wasn't able to afford the gas, he admitted. Then, when he was still only 21, came the offer to star in a sitcom. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which ran on US TV for 6 years from 1990, was the remaking of him. After a shaky start, he revealed himself as a talented comedian and, crucially in a country as racially divided as the US, one who appealed to both black and white audiences. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a surprise hit, and it provided a perfect platform for Smith to move into the movies. With credits that include Independence Day, Men in Black 1 and 2, and Wild Wild West and Ali, Smith is not just the most successful black actor in the world, but also one of the most successful actors, period. Meanwhile, his musical career gathered pace. To date, he has sold over 20 million records in a rap career which shows no sign of slowdown. Even if his next film is a flop, Smith is prepared. Hollywood, he once said, is a tough town. I look at it like when you're driving on the highway and it's raining, And there's that one car broken down on the side of the road. One day, that's gonna be you. One day, you're gonna be that car broken down on the side of the road. But not today, not tomorrow, and probably not for the rest of his life. The above quote is not really typical of Smith. The following is: I don't know if I'm arrogant, but it's a plus to me that people are lazy. I take comfort in knowing that even if someone's more talented, a better rapper or actor than I am, they're not going to put in the hours I do. I have this psychotic drive. I can't sleep, I can't eat until what I've started is finished to the best of my ability. So we've read the text, and now we will deal with some of the vocabulary in the paragraphs so you can better understand what the point of each passage is. Okay? So the first one, with the title No Working Class Kid, okay, best summarizes this first paragraph. Okay? So basically, Will Smith, who was born under the full name Willard Smith, was not a working class kid. He was born and grew up in a multicultural lower middle class neighborhood. Okay, this word here, neighborhood, refers to the area. Okay, not the neighborhood like he lived with his neighbors. No, but the whole neighborhood, like the hood, the area, was full with people who belonged to a lower middle class. Okay, and his father was a former Air Force sergeant. Former, okay, means ex, previous, okay, probably retired. Okay, sergeant. This is a person who was involved and employed in the military, in the army. Okay, and he ran a business. To run a business, we've had this one. This is a phrase. To run a business means to work, to operate, to manage a business, and this specific one was a refrigeration business, which means Will Smith's father was into business with freezers, okay, or refrigerators, okay, and his mother worked for the local school board. Board is basically a management, so she was also running a business, okay, as a part of a management in a local school. Order was all important. Order is a key word here. Okay. The second oldest of 4 children, so the second oldest, Will excelled at school, which means Will was excellent at school, particularly at maths, so he was doing a tremendous job with his subject. Okay. But he seems to bear a few scars. Scars. You've seen the film Scarface. So scar is a mark on the skin after a wound has healed, for example. Okay. And from the attentions of a disciplinarian father. Okay, be careful with this one. It's not the same if someone is disciplined or someone is disciplinarian. Disciplinarian father means he was a strict father, okay, who wanted to have a disciplined child, okay. So Will Smith grew up in a military household, okay. He grew up, he was brought up as a child. He had his childhood spent in a, let's say, a military household. The order was all important. That's why it's called military. Okay, so here he explains the things they had to do. Okay, be careful. This is the past tense of must. Okay, underwear. I suppose you know underwear. Okay, socks, put in little knives. Learning that level of discipline and a commitment. Commitment. When you are committed to doing things right, you have commitment. Okay, you have a drive, certain drive, or you're dedicated to doing something. Commitment. Okay. In his teens, when he was a teenager, in his teens, So basically from him being 13-year-old to 19, his mother managed to get him an interview at the institute. He didn't give the interview for the newspaper here. The idea is when you have an interview at the institute or a university, basically you have a conversation with someone, you apply for the attendance. You want to be admitted and to enroll as a student, okay? And the world-renowned Institute of Technology, renowned means eminent, very famous, okay? But Will was born to perform. To perform means to sing, to act, let's say do stand-up, also possible. So a performer performs, usually on stage, okay? He began performing at parties with his friends while the pair was still at school. Okay, the pair, Jeff and Will, were the pair, the duo, okay, not the couple, okay? If they were dating, they would be a couple, but they were performing as the pair, so basically two people performing together, okay? So their name was DJ Jazzy Jeff, the Fresh Prince. The pair became an instant international success, enjoying a string of hits. String means a long row of string, which refers to a thread string of hits. Okay? And the last sentence in this section, by 20, which means by the time he turned 20, okay, 20 years old, the lanky, tall and slim, very tall and slim, jug-eared. What is a jug? If you're jug-eared, it means you have unusually big ears, okay? Jug-eared, like handles on a jug. This is a jug-eared person. He became a millionaire, okay? By 20, he was a millionaire. Spend. Then he very nearly blew it. He blew it. He messed up. He made a mistake, okay? He almost destroyed everything he worked for. What did I know? Smith reflected. Smith thought for himself. He was thinking. Reflection is the activity of giving a deep thought to something. Okay. I was running around with the money and the girls chasing me. Okay. The girls were after him. Okay. And just having a great time. But the after hours shopping trips to Gucci. Okay, you're familiar to Gucci. It's a designer. After hours means after working hours, after regular time. Okay, the trans-continental partying. Trans-continental on certain continents. Okay, caught up with him. So this is catch up with. You're familiar with the phrase. Basically, transcontinental partying also made him mess things up. Okay. Why? He says, I had 6 cars, but I wasn't able to afford the gas, he admitted. Okay. Finally, he was tired and sick of everything he did up to that point. Demonstrating his talent. Demonstrating means showing his talent. Okay. When he was still only 21, came the offer to star in a sitcom. Sitcom is a famous American series, let's say common TV genre, where people have a situation comedy happening, okay, usually in one place. Like sitcom is Friends, 2.5 Men Behaving Badly, okay. So sitcom at that time was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, probably you've seen this one, which ran on US TV, which was broadcasted on TV. That's the meaning of this section. Okay. That show, that sitcom, was the remaking of him. Okay, remaking, you can, if you want to translate this one in your not native, in your mother tongue, you can leave this one because the phrase, you understand the phrase of remaking, okay? But after a shaky start, what kind of start is that if it's shaky? It's not on the firm. legs. Like shaky start is something which starts with insecurity, okay? He revealed himself as a talented comedian. He presented himself as a comedian, and crucially, the most importantly, in a country which is racially divided, okay? Races like black race, white race, and so on, divided, okay? So the US, as the author claims, was racially divided at that time. He was liked, he appealed, he was liked by both black and white audiences. That's the meaning. Basically, all people, no matter what their race, liked the sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Will Smith. Okay, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a surprise hit, and it provided a perfect platform for Smith to move into the movies. Provided a perfect platform, so it was a phenomenal starting point for Smith to proceed with filming more.